Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to our podcast. It's Healthy Podcast, where we discuss about healthy lifestyle and how to lose weight in a healthy way. So, in this episode today, I want to discuss about this idea of vegan, vegetarian, and whatsoever. Just a second, come back. This thing, it's a very interesting thing for me. The fight between people who eat meat and the other people who are vegetarian or vegan or whatsoever. And till now, I've been in this industry for quite a long time, and I saw different people. I saw people from martial arts. I saw people like athletes from fitness industry. And I saw normal people like my clients that just wanted to become healthier, losing some weight, being fit, and have more energy. And there are some points that you can connect between all of them and start creating your own, let's say, philosophy, but it's not philosophy. It's the way how life works, let's say, how our body works. And as you know from the beginning, I don't want to be the scientifically guy that will provide scientific proof as how fats are burned in your body and with very posh, let's say, words for that, because I don't think people should overload their brain, especially normal people that have jobs, family, and that's all. I don't think it's relevant for them, to be honest with you. And by considering this as a practice to create a course and also to develop an audiobook about how to lose weight in a healthy way and the process, I think it's better if you try to explain things the way they are in a very simple way. So in this way, people will really appreciate it, that, hey, I can understand some points and some views, and okay, now I understand what's going on. Okay, so what I don't like about this concept of vegan or vegetarian is that become like a religion, and people, it's another thing for people to hate each other, and some of them start pushing so bad this idea that you have to become vegetarian, that starts a fight in one way or another sooner or later. And I don't think it's a good approach. And the idea is that life is a process, okay? It's not about living longer. So some of them promotes this idea of vegetarian or vegan to live longer. It's useless to live longer if you don't live at your full potential just a short amount of time, okay? It's better to live at your full potential for a short amount of time, and lots of philosophers said that. I'm not inventing the wheel right now. And the idea of being healthy and being able to do things at certain age, it's unbelievable. To feel energetic, to feel motivated, to enjoy the process of life, it's amazing, and this is what counts. So on this process of life, even if you have, for example, 70 years old, you will live 17 years you have to understand that the whole mechanism inside of your body, the internal organs, the processes that are inside of your body will get slower and slower and slower with time. So this is one point that you have to understand. Inevitably, even if you do exercises, even if you don't. Yes, okay, if you do very regular exercises and you don't have very big fluctuations in weight and you eat very healthy, definitely the process of slowing down all the processes in your body will be slower, okay, than the other people that have very big fluctuations in weight and eat very bad, don't exercise, and all of this. And this is one point, okay? And for example, if a person who has 20 years old, if he eats, for example, in one day 1 kilogram of meat, the process of digestion and everything will be very fast. So they will not have big problems. On the other hand, if you take a 60 years old person and give him 1 kilogram of meat to eat in one day, will be very hard for their body to digest all that meat. They will feel lack of energy, they will not feel good, maybe they will have some problems with their kidneys, maybe they will feel very, very, very sick in a way or another. So this process of life and all the slowing down all the processes, okay, influence the way we eat certain things. And if, for example, with passing time, you decided to reduce the amount of meat that you eat, it's actually normal. Because if you start analyzing yourself and you understand, and you not understand, if you have a great communication with your body and you want to take care of your body, you realize that your body will tell you, hey, look, right now I don't need to eat so much meat, so you'll start reducing the meat. And this is a normal thing. Like, you don't have to become vegetarian from a certain point, or you have to be a vegetarian from when you are 5 years old, because meat, on the long of the history and blah blah blah, has their importance in our diet. It's not like, okay, no, meat is no good. No, it is important over there. It is important. But depends how we eat, when we eat, and how we deal with it. Okay? And this is one aspect. Okay? The idea of phases of your lifetime, the age, how the processes are slowing down inside of your body. The other thing that is very important is the way you think about life. This is a very important thing, because, for example, you see the world around you in one way when you are 20 years old, and you see from another perspective when you are 50 years old. The level of stress that you put on yourself will decrease with time. For example, you will have a very big level of stress when you are 20, 25 years old, and when when you are 17 years old, 70, 70 year old, the level of stress will decrease dramatically because you have the knowledge about life. You know what will happen with you. You know that you can't do lots of things right now, and very, very close. Actually, at 70 years old, I think you are retired anyway. So you realize, hey, look, I don't have any stress anymore. My kids are old enough. They have their own home, house, blah, 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 kids. I have nephews. I just like to enjoy my retirement. And so the level of stress decreasing. When the level of stress decreasing, you realize that you don't need so much energy for day-to-day life. How to explain this? So when you are very stressed, very, very stressed, with the stress comes lots of things like anxiety, depression, whatsoever. And you need more energy, and you are focused to get more energy from somewhere, even if it's coffee, drugs, alcohol, meat, aliments, diet, anything. So you are focused on getting more energy. When you are at 70 years old, for example, when you are retired, blah, 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 all the stuff that I said before, you realize that, hey, why should I need so much energy? I don't care. I just want some peace. I want a peaceful life. So right now I can take care of my nephews. I can walk around. I want to travel a little bit. I want to go there. I want to enjoy the sun, my garden, and everything. So you are not focused anymore on getting more energy. You're just focused to chill, relax. So the level of stress is very low. It's very low. That's why you don't look for any more energy. So because you are very chill, you are very peaceful, the level of stress is very, very, very low, you don't need to eat meat, because eating meat will make your body consume more energy that you don't need it to consume it, you know? So if you take a close attention, maybe this is how you say, if you focus a little bit on these people that are old enough, 70 years old or more, you realize that they don't need to eat so much meat. They eat meat maybe once per week or something like this. So they live with veggies, with fruits a lot, and all of that. It's like paying attention what your body needs, and just give it a try. Like listen to him when it tells you something. So basically you need to have a great connection and communication with your body to realize all these things. And when you are angry and you are very stressful, when you are very stressed, it's not supreme, how do you say? Like, will struggle your body to create more energy for you. And because of that, you try to look in other places some energy to get. So that's why people go to alcohol, drugs, meat, energy drinks, whatsoever. When the level of stress decreases dramatically, it's like releasing your body, and you'll be able to find your own resources of energy inside of your body. So it's because you are young, and you don't have the education to deal with your emotions, this is what makes the level of stress increase. And because you don't know how to deal with emotions, you don't know how your brain works, how to control emotions, manage them, it's very hard for young people for someone to start explaining to young people, hey, look, this is what really happens inside of your body. And you have to manage your emotions. By managing your emotions, you manage the level of stress, anxiety, depression that you have. So if all of this goes down nearly to zero, and you start seeing the world from another perspective, like a 70 years old, for example, you'll find in yourself all the energy that you need to move forward and to keep going whatever you do. So also for a 20 years old person, it's about the society, and the society has a major point of view of them and how they do things, and there are lots of misconceptions here, but the point is that these two differences between difference between 20 years old and 70 years old has an impact on how much meat do you eat. This is another point, okay? And you'll realize if you take a look at people that practice martial arts for 30 years old, let's not call them masters, but they try to reach a level of master. You realize that the more, if they started at 20 years old, for example, or 15 years old, they were focused only on championships, battles, fighting, become better and better, stronger, and all whatsoever. And with time, they go to the other side of the martial arts that is more like meditating, understanding life, the life meaning. And because they go to this point, they start changing their diet, and they don't eat so much meat, maybe not meat at all, because they are in that situation feeling that, hey, I don't need it anymore. Like, I don't need it anymore. I'm so peaceful, I'm so peaceful with me, with my life and whatsoever. So if you start analyzing them, you realize, hey, this is the process of life. This is how life is going. And yeah, we will reach a certain point in life where we feel that we don't need to eat any more meat. But depends on the person how fast will reach the point where they can control the emotions, and how fast they reach the point when they realize that the life, it's all about peace and not happiness. Because it's a difference. People don't look for happiness, because you'll not realize, like, you don't know what is happiness if you don't struggle, if you don't have pain. And I read this in a book that they call it Power of Now. So people usually look for peace, and this is what it's about, what life is about, peace. So yeah, how soon you realize this is as soon as possible you'll give up meat. I'm not saying that it's a good idea or a bad idea, but because, and now let's get back on earth, let's say, okay? Because the society is the way it is, and the marketing, the companies, all of this stuff, and you have to deal with lots of things, family, kids, provide for themselves and whatsoever, meat will have a very big chunk of importance, let's say, in your life, like developing yourself, developing your brain, your muscles, and whatsoever. But at the same time, we can manage the idea of eating meat. For example, in my opinion, me personally, I don't eat red meat. I don't like it. So for example, maybe once per year, because I don't have anything to eat at a party, barbecue, whatsoever, I need to eat red meat. For example, pork or beef. I don't like the beef steak or I don't like it. So in most of the cases, I eat chicken breast. Okay, and this is how I am. Okay, and I don't need to eat lots of things because, for example, for me personally, because I'm very organized with my meals and I cook for myself every 2 days. Per 1 week, I eat around 3 chicken breasts and some tuna and some prawns. That's all. This is the most that I eat. Okay, and I have like a very deep pleasure of carbonara, and I eat some bacon in the carbonara, pasta carbonara, and that's all. So basically, let's say that I eat 1.5 chicken per week, but it's not properly. I can't say that because I eat only the chicken breast. So the amount of meat that I eat right now when I'm 31 years old, it's very low. Okay, and this is because I was in a stage of my life when I was 20 years old and I was so focused on fitness that I eat like maybe 1 kilogram of meat every single day. Was insane, guys. Was really insane. So this is another thing about vegetarian and vegan. It's not about pushing yourself in a direction that you are not prepared. Because if you try to do it because your colleagues do, or your friends, or whatsoever, and you are not prepared, you can get sick. If you are not in the position where you can't, if you are in the position where you can't control your emotions, the level of stress, it's very high. The depression, anxiety, children's loans, mortgages, whatsoever, toxic relationship, the stress is very high, and you're deciding to change your diet totally and just give up meat, eggs, dairy products, and whatsoever, the main sources of proteins, then you realize that you'll get sick very fast. Why? Because it's very simple. When people can't deal with them, they can't deal with external things. Diet is an external thing. Emotions and all of this level of stress, it's an internal thing. When you can't deal with this, with the internal thing, you can't change things in your diet. And if you do because someone says so, you'll get sick. Because your body needs lots of nutrients to deal with the stress, anxiety, and depression that you can't deal with them. So if you start cutting the meat and all the good protein sources, your immune system will get weaker and weaker and weaker, because I said in one episode, everything inside of your body, it's about protein. It's everything, it's all about protein. Proteins. Try to look, every single cell, it's about protein. And that's why it's very important. So don't make the changes because someone said so. Try to understand your body. Try to start having a very good relationship with your body. So that's why the idea of creating good habits, the idea of organizing your meals, cooking every single day for you, make time to cook every single day for you, have 3 meals per day, have 2 fruits every single day at the same hours. Let a schedule be over there when it's about meals. Then you can start changing in the communication with you, because when you start organizing the outside things slowly, and it's over there, the habits are over there, you start developing the habit of organizing what is inside of you, the emotions, the stress, and the way you see life. And when these 2 things are not very good, but good managed, you can start changing things because you are in a safe mode. You can do it and nothing bad happened to you. So that's why it's very important about vegetarian and vegan. Don't try to push yourself in a way that you can't control it, you can't deal with it just because someone said so. That's the idea. So these are my points. Why I'm not recommending to anyone to become vegan or vegetarian, even if you love animals, even if you don't, or you are focused on climate change and whatsoever. Okay, people can reduce the consumption of meat. This is a thing. Imagine all the people around the world for tomorrow will not eat any beef. Just all around the world. From tomorrow, imagine this. You still have meat in your diet. Don't get me wrong, you have chicken, you have pork. And then the second phase, think about no one to eat any beef or pork. Imagine that. Will be a tremendous change for climate change, for animals, for whatsoever. So, yeah, it is what it is. So, yeah, this is what is my idea of vegan or vegetarian, and yeah, see you in the next episode. Bye.